they took her money and they didn't show up for months. And then when they did finally come to do the work, which was lucky because some people just never show up, when they did finally show up to help her and put the roof on, it was done improperly. It was an improper application. There was all kinds of footfall and blistering on the shingles that they did install. And I think they actually ended up putting on the wrong color. And it was just, the whole thing was a mess.
Hey, what's up, roofing fam? Welcome to one more episode of Roofers Going Digital TV, where we present the trends and the leaders that are changing the path of the roofing industry. And right now, we have a really important guest, Stephanie. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Vancho. I'm excited to be here with you.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love your confidence. Once right now that I invite you, and you were, I love that attitude. That's the same attitude that I have. So, something that I want to start talking about is the association, Stephanie. I saw you, and right now we are in the Texas Roofing Conference.
Yep, we're here at RCAT, Texas Roofing Conference right now.
It's the conference for the state, and RCAT, the Roofing Contractor Association of Texas. Probably a lot of people know it. Stephanie, it's a really, I see you everywhere. In all the meetings you participate, you are helping the industry. I want to know a little bit, I want to go a little bit deeper on that. Why are you helping the community like that, Stephanie?
So I'm actually really passionate about what we're doing here at RCAT because I think that in us elevating the roofing industry as a whole, we're also elevating the consumer experience, which is incredibly important to me as someone who is a consumer, right? Like, we all buy things, we all need services, we're all gonna have to replace the roofs on our house at one point in time. And the more that we work together collectively to elevate that experience, the better off all of us are as contractors in this industry, and we're creating a better reputation for an industry that historically has some pretty negative connotations associated with it.
Do you have a bad experience before?
So I personally haven't had a bad experience with a roofing company. But there's so many people in my life that have. My grandmother actually, my Meemaw, she was taken advantage of by a contractor when she got her roof replaced up in Dallas a couple years ago. And it was just a nightmare experience for her. Luckily, I was in roofing at the time, so I was able to kind of help her and coach her through some of it. But truthfully, it was terrible for her. They took her money and they didn't show up for months. And then when they did finally come to do the work, which was lucky because some people just never show up, when they did finally show up to help her and put the roof on, it was done improperly. It was an improper application. There was all kinds of footfall and blistering on the shingles that they did install. And I think they actually ended up putting on the wrong color. And it was just, the whole thing was a mess. And I've heard so many stories like that from people in my life, customers that I interact with on a regular basis. It's an unfortunate experience that a lot of people have had in the state of Texas because we're so unregulated.
Was that experience with your grandma?
Yeah, she's my Meemaw,
Okay.
Because we're Southern.
When they mess with grandma, then that's like, this is the result.
Don't mess with Meemaw.
Exactly. And the result is, I'm gonna change everything,
Absolutely.
From a single experience, right now you are changing the whole industry.
Yeah, and it's so important, right? And I think the greatest thing that I love about RCAT is the fact that all of us are technically competitors, but we're working together for a common goal. And I've been able to make so many friends in the industry. And there's just so many people that I can call now when I have questions, right? Like, there's people that are older than me that they came before me, they've had these experiences, they know how to do things to be successful, and instead of me having to struggle and figure everything out for myself for the first time, I can pick up the phone and I can call 100 different people and they're all gonna answer and they're gonna help me. And it's awesome. And it's awesome to be a part of this. And I'm so excited to be on the board of directors and be able to be a part of the organization.
I love it. Okay, the first point that you just said is change the industry.
Yeah,
have
absolutely.
a better industry. The second one is the brotherhood,
yeah,
the association.
Yeah, the community is amazing.
And actually, that's one of the reasons why I have fallen in love more with this association, with RCAT, Central Texas, RCAT, is the camaraderie.
Yeah.
You know, like the ways people is helping each other, it's impressive, you know?
It really is.
And while some people out there is fighting and like competing, and no, that's my competitor. There is other people that is working together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And growing to different levels.
Yeah, and it's amazing. And all of the companies that are working together, they're seeing more success come from it than if they were trying to figure it out on their own. It's kind of a no-brainer. Like, why would you not want to be a part of an organization full of people that are willing to help you and your company be better?
Yes, it's a no-brainer.
No-brainer.
No-brainer. No, and what you were saying about this brotherhood and this support to each other is that, for example, Boy Won't Drive, Jimmy and Gerda, they have been in the industry 50 years.
Yeah, long time.
Do you think you are going to learn from them?
Oh, absolutely.
Imagine all the information that they have to share with us, that we are the younger generation.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the things that I do in my life is I get close to that people, with the older people, older generations, because they have gone through everything.
Yeah, they've already experienced it. Like, why do I want to learn the hard lesson for myself when I can literally call Jeannie, and I call her all the time actually, because her dad is such a wealth of knowledge, you know, and they've helped me multiple times. They've helped me find certified crews that could get badged to get on military installations. Like, it just makes everything so much easier when you can reach out to someone for help.
Yeah, and Jeannie and Boyd is just one example. The Supreme Roofing, 38 years.
Yep.
Paul Ramon, 28 years. What else? I don't know. If we can keep saying names.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. We could keep saying names, but there's 800 companies that are involved in this that I can't name them all, right? There's so many of us, but that's 800 resources that I have access to because I'm part of this organization, and I've met people, and I meet people at things like this when we come to conferences or when we do board meetings, and we just get to interact with everybody, and it's amazing.
Yes. And what would you say to someone that says like, oh no, they are my competitors? You know, like, I don't want to join the association because I don't want to join with my competitors. What would you say to those?
You know, I think that I understand the mentality of that, right? Like, I mean, I get it. I don't think anyone ever really looks at it from the perspective of like, I want to help someone that I'm competing against get better and maybe they could beat me, right? But the thing is first of all, the pie is big enough for everybody to eat, right? Like, we can all eat at the table. The table is plenty big. There's so much roofing that's happening in the state of Texas. You know, there's a lot of companies that you get more leads than you reasonably could take on in a lot of situations, right? Like, your production schedule just can't allow for it. You don't have enough sales guys to chase them all down. We can all eat. So I don't think that we need to have a scarcity mindset when it comes to the industry as a whole. But also, even if you're elevating your competition, you're still putting yourself in a better position, right? So like, if your competition gets better, if they have better systems in place and they're installing better roofs and they're able to charge more because they're putting on this better system, so are you. So you're also able to do these things in line with everybody else. What actually hurts us is when people don't want to install those better systems and they don't want to get better. And so they're coming in and they're doing it cheaper and they're using subpar products. And, you know, there's just all kinds of things that you could do to like shave a little bit of money here and a little bit of money there. But the reality is that if we're all collectively getting better across the state, then we're also all going to be able to make more money too.
Yes.
And don't we all want to make more money? Isn't that why we're all in business?
Yes. We are better together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without doubt. And another thing to mention is that, yes, expertise and years of experience is a big thing, but another thing is specialization.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because there are companies that they specialize, for example, let's say they only do metal roofing.
Yeah, totally.
And they are the best. And in your case that you do like your expertise, I don't know, it's commercial, TPO, you have these connections.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like in the other side. Stephanie, what recommendation, besides joining RCAT and your local chapter, what recommendation would you give to the roofing community in Texas?
Honestly, I would say the other recommendation that I would have is get involved in your local community and your local politics. I think that's something that we should be doing, whether we're roofers or not, honestly. Like, you should know who your representatives are, and you should know what it is that they're voting for, and whether that's in your favor or not in your favor as a citizen and as a business owner. And I really think that, like, getting involved in the community and understanding what's happening in your community when it comes to things like that is really important for us to be a part of. And it's going to help you in the long run when you understand what it is that's taking place. Like, there's a reason that we show up to Roofing Day every 2 years at the state capitol. It's because it matters. But the thing is that when we go to Roofing Day and we're meeting with the state legislatures, you know, that's one person that we get to meet with once every 2 years. You can go see your local representatives every week if you wanted to. I mean, they probably go to the same churches as you, or your kids are on the same football team. Like, these are people that are part of the community that you live in, and they're making decisions that affect you, and you should be involved in that discussion.
You need to be on the top of mind in your community.
Yeah.
Whenever they have a problem, you need to be the first one that come into their mind.
Absolutely.
To do that, it's like probably it's really like they're gonna say like, oh, that's obviously.
Yeah.
That's something that is obviously, but I bet a lot of people is not doing it.
No, and I think people just don't think about it, right? Like, I think when it comes to local politicians, it's so out of sight and out of mind for the vast majority of us because we're focused on national politics or state politics, and it feels like so much to deal with. But the reality is it's the choices that are happening on a local level that actually affect us more in our day-to-day lives than the ones that are happening on a state or a national level, right? And so many people are just not involved in it because they're unaware, right? And it's not that people are deliberately unaware, it's that they don't make it easy for us to be involved in local politics, you know, and it's hard to get involved in that world when you don't know what's going on and you don't know where to go meet with somebody or how to even get into contact with them in the first place. But if we're actively involved in it, then we can also help other people become actively involved in it as well. So if you do have a local roofer, reach out to them, see if they're in touch with your local representatives, because if they're a member of RCAT, they probably are, and they can tell you how to get in contact with them too.
I love that one. Okay. Now, what recommendation would you give to a homeowner? Like, you said it right now.
Yeah.
Ask them if they are part of RCAT.
Yep, absolutely.
If they are part of the community.
Yep.
What other recommendation would you give to a building owner or a homeowner out there?
I think my biggest recommendation is you really do get what you pay for in a lot of situations. So just choosing the cheapest option is probably not the best thing that you could do. Most of us, when we purchase sneakers or clothing or cars, we don't show up and we get the absolute cheapest thing that's available to us. We choose the one that makes sense for our needs. So take the time to actually sit and talk with your contractor and ask them questions and make sure that they're providing you with the best solution for your home and for your property and for yourself. There's a ton of great roofers that do roofing very reasonably priced. It doesn't have to be the cheapest. What you want is to purchase the best solution for you and your needs. And you want to look for a contractor that's willing to personalize the solution for you based on your pain points and what it is that you actually need, and not what makes the most sense for them profit-wise.
Yes, yes. And I want to complement that for the homeowners and building owners. If you Google what questions to ask my contractor,
Yep.
Google that, study the questions, check them out, and ask them to your local roofers, because we don't want you, and I want to close with this, we don't want you to have your grandma experience.
Yeah, I don't want any of you to experience what Mima went through, so definitely take the time to talk to your contractors, look up the questions that you should be asking, and don't be afraid to talk to more than one contractor.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yes.
Like don't be afraid to talk to multiple contractors and find the one that really makes the most sense for you.
Oh yeah, because they are gonna be different types. Not all of them are the same. But the key part is look for a good one.
Yep.
Look for a good one and make sure that they are part of RCAT. Stephanie, thank you very much. Your information is super valuable for the community. You are good on this.
Okay, awesome.
I love it. Thank you very much for your time. We are gonna see each other around.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be back tomorrow, and thank you for letting me be part of this with you.
No, thank you. Thank you very much, Pam.
Bye.